Hey, I'm Nick Rollo. I'm a producer and mix engineer that specializes predominantly in pop and indie pop music. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would give my thoughts on how often you should release music in 2022, perhaps going forward. I think there's a lot of debate about this. I've done a few different things in my time as an artist and also just watching other artists kind of from a production mix engineer standpoint. So I think I have some insight here that might help you. But before we get into the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. And comment something nice below if you're feeling it. Let's go. I need like a cool intro cutscene, but alas. So we've all heard it. How often should you release music? Predominantly for Spotify. I guess that's kind of the silver lining, is it's all for Spotify. How often should you do it? Should you release every week? Should you release every month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, every year? Should you pump out a massive album every 3 years? Like, there's a lot of options here. It's honestly kind of overwhelming. There's too many options, and I don't think there's one right answer. I think to clarify out of the gate, I don't think there's one correct answer for everybody. I think it really depends on a few different factors, but let's jump into it. So I, as an artist, did singing, like kind of pop music, and I initially released a song every, I think, like 3 to 4 months, and then I did like an EP every, after a couple songs I would release an EP. Sometimes it would take 5 months, 6 months. I'd get lazy, or I'd just let a song kind of do some writing, and then I would try to release something afterwards. The issue was that it wasn't consistent. My consistency had not been properly planned out. I'd have a song, release it, and then I wouldn't have another song to follow up with, so it would end up being a couple extra months at the back end where I'd be trying to scramble to get something. That was kind of the process for me. It wasn't particularly great. But at some point, I did change to a faster cycle. I changed to a monthly cycle where I said, I'm going to release a song every single month for the next, year. I think I'd planned to do it, with the thought that that would kind of just keep pushing things along. Hopefully, they would all be consistent quality, and that would result in kind of a bit of groundswell and eventually some proper momentum, and then perhaps at some point I would take the pressure off and do slower releasing afterwards. And they all had different kind of benefits. I think from a fan perspective, releasing more often is great. Think about YouTubers. Like, if your favorite YouTuber released a video once a month, like, okay, maybe that's okay. What about if they released a video once every 3 months? That'd suck, to be honest. Like, imagine that compared to once a week. Like, you'd love once a week if you love that YouTube creator. That's awesome. You're building a relationship. They might have advice and wisdom, or they're just entertaining. You're connected to them, and the more that they release, the better. You're not really getting tired out from their tons of content, but also, like, you can just not watch the video if you don't want to. A lot of artists, when they're thinking about, oh, should I release heaps of different songs really, consistently, a big fear is that they're going to burn out their audience. But the thing is, if they like your music, they like your music. They want to hear more music. And if they don't want to hear more music, they just won't listen to it. But you also get this incredible benefit of, by releasing lots of music, you're actually putting your music potentially in front of more people who are going to love your music and then want to listen to all of your music, if that makes sense. You're constantly pumping out different things in different directions. There's going to be just a way bigger catch net because you've got that momentum. Spotify algorithms, all of that is kicking in because there's all of these songs gathering streams and data. It gives you that kind of catch net. I think there's limited downside there. However, there is actually one major downside from really consistent and fast-paced releasing, is that you might get burnt out. I wouldn't worry so much about your audience getting burnt out. I'd worry about you. That was my biggest issue with the month strategy. I burnt out. It just became a chore that I had to finish a song every single, I had like a 3-week window where I had to write, produce, record, and mix and master a track, get artwork done, get the promotion ready, marketing, etc. It's a lot, it's a lot for especially just a one-person team. Maybe it's different if you have a couple people behind the scenes who are helping, but I was trying to do everything myself. And at some point, maybe month 4 or 5 or however many I did, I stopped because it was hard. I burnt out. Before I had like quite a nice buffer of a few months where it's like, oh yeah, I can chill for this next month, maybe month 2 between the two. It's like I get to relax a little bit. But I found with the month strategy that was kind of intense. However, I think you can do it right if you plan in advance. If you get a bunch of different songs ready so that you're maybe 3 months ahead of schedule or 5 months or 6 months or whatever, then that would work quite well. But alas, how often should you release? Well, I think it really depends. What's your budget? Are you going to be smashing $10,000 behind a song once it's released? Because I think in that case, you should definitely have a longer time horizon. You pitch it to Spotify, you pitch it to radio. If the song does take off, you want to give it a bit of room to breathe. I think coming in too quickly with another song behind it is going to take away attention from that particular song. That's pretty, I feel like a lot of people understand that. Once it starts doing well, you want to let it do its thing. If you have a huge budget behind it, probably give it a little bit of time. Don't have another song immediately. You want people to be focusing on that track. I think that's what I would do if I had tons of money and heaps of conviction on a song. It's like, this song is going to freaking do it. That would be my plan. However, if you have less budget, but you have the ability to record lots of tracks, you feel like you're quite like creative and able to pump out a lot of different songs, I would definitely move to the other model, which is faster releases. And that particular time horizon is really up to you. You could do every week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, maybe 6 weeks. Choose something you think isn't going to burn you out. I think it's easier to start with like a slower horizon and then bring it in, as opposed to the other way. I think if you start with a month and then you turn that to 2 months, people are like, he failed, like me. Doing the other way around just means like, oh, they're more motivated, let's go. That's my thoughts anyway. So I hope that was somewhat helpful. I like rambling in front of a camera. It's mildly entertaining. But if you did find this helpful, smash like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below. What are you doing at the moment? Is it working for you? Where do you think you could fix that? Or where do you think you could improve your current system? I'd love to hear your thoughts, help you out if I can. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Sorry about the terrible lighting. The sun went away. Need to fix that. But have a good day. Catch you later. Bye.